All right. Good evening. How is everybody doing? Sunday night already. Doesn't feel like Sunday. I don't know why it doesn't feel like a Sunday, but it's Sunday. So welcome, welcome. Productive day. I gotta tell you. Last couple of days I've been banging stuff out here at the homestead. It's been actually pretty awesome. Weather's been freaking cooperating too, which really helps. And so yesterday we were supposed to get rain. The forecast was rain all day long. We'll see who we got in here. We got Sonia's in the house, Lori's here, Carol's here, Kathy's here, JJ's here, Janet is in the house, Delbert Jones, Dale from Ohio, uh, DJ Nostradamus. So welcome everyone. Glad to have you guys here. So, but anyway, the forecast for yesterday originally was all day rain. It's going to rain all day long. I'm like, okay. Um, Omelette design. Tell me I said it wrong. Probably, right? Close. Okay. That's all right. So anyway, so I'm like, okay, it's gonna be crappy. I called Steve and said, hey man, listen, Saturday, let's go do laundry. It's gonna rain all day anyway. Let's go get our laundry banged out. He's like, all right. So had him come up, meet me at the truck. We left early, went and did laundry, got that done, and then it's not raining. And I'm going, well, man, we get back. I said, I'm gonna go out and try to cut as much grass as I can get cut. And it like looked like all day like it was gonna rain. Like the clouds would come in and they would get dark, and I'm watching the sky, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going and see what I can get done. So I get the whole lower meadow done. A little bit of push work I got to still do, but other than that, I did that. And then I took a break, came in. I said, I'm gonna see what I can get done in the upper meadow. I did most of the upper meadow as well. And then I was just tired after that. I was like, okay, that's enough. And so today I went out and finished up the upper meadow, got that done. There's a bee update coming up, so I'll share that with you. Uh, the one hive, I will tell you guys, it's doing amazing, amazing. I'm looking at the one hive. I just put the second super on the second hive today. Just put it because they were ready. Those bees are going bananas in that hive. And the other hive is just kind of trudging along. I'm just like, what is going on? So I actually got a call or stop in and see the bee people. And the guy that I got the bees from, he had come out last year and looked at them. And when he came out, they were doing good. So I'm going to have him come out and kind of look at it. Because, like I said, the one hive, gangbusters. I mean, you will see the videos. I did two separate videos. And it's just like the activity between each hive is night and day, and I have no idea why. Just one less active queen, maybe. Who knows? But man, that one queen in the one hive, she is on it. I will tell you that right now. So that hopefully that makes an interesting video for you guys to watch. Tomorrow's going to be busy here at the homestead as well. We have gravel coming in, and so we got gravel for Cheryl's place. We have gravel for Sandy's spot. We got gravel coming in for Jimmy's spot. So it's going to be a crazy, another busy day. And possibly, not 100% sure yet, Cheryl's building may also come in tomorrow. So we'll have to see how that all goes. But good, positive things. Things are going along really well. I was taking care of some other chores that I needed to take care of around here at the homestead. So I was outside like most of the day. It was absolutely awesome. So I got a little bit of sun, which is also good. So good day. Good day. So anyway, before we jump into anything, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. So, want to address this really quickly first. I know that yesterday I put up the same video back to back. I was making a lot of videos over last weekend, and I was trying to get them up in the right sequence. And I mean, it was taking forever for these videos to upload. And I got a bunch of videos uploaded over several days. And so, yes, I saw all the comments that it was the same video. I apologize for that. Um, yeah, it was just, what are you going to do? But the next three videos coming up are going to be like walkthroughs, and you'll see what was done in the lower meadow. Then the next video is what was done in the upper meadow, and then the last one will be the final way that the turn into the property looks. Night and day, folks. Really, really happy with how everything turned out. And so, that's one less thing we got to worry about, because, that was a trouble spot. It's been a trouble spot since we bought the property. And I will tell you what, had we tried to do that by hand, I hate to think, yeah, I did see that so we'll talk about that a little bit too, Jay. But it's, getting that done and getting that banged out of the way, it's like, one of those like steps that you have reached, and it just going to make things so much better down through that area of the road. So, but they're still searching for the down helicopter. Wow. Okay. So yeah, let's address that real quick. So the president of Iran, his helicopter went down in the mountains. They're still. Oh, the helicopter was found. All right. So they pretty sure he died in that crash. Now, the first thing, of course, that came to my mind, was it done intentionally? I mean, who knows? Who knows? It absolutely could have been. But again, that's just kind of that whole conspiracy theorist speculation type of stuff. And it's like, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, it's just, hey, one of those things. What are these? Yeah, sounds like Mossad. Yeah, no kidding, Asif. That's exactly what I was thinking. Um, Nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. It was Iran, Don. The Iranian president in Iran, his helicopter went down that he was riding in. So, but yeah, who knows? I mean, like I said, it's there's always more than one way of payback, which people don't get. So, all right. So I really want to talk about, obviously, the topic of the video. But before we do, what do we got? 223 in the chat, guys. I'm only seeing 77 thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithm. So thank you very much for doing that as well. And also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that as well. All right. So when will people have had enough? Okay. Now here's the thing that I find interesting. What you're seeing now, when you're seeing it in California, you're seeing it in New York, you're seeing it in certain states that are Democrat-run states. Let's be honest, okay. Very restrictive laws that they're putting into place against their citizenry. Very, very high taxes to try to get, a permit. Well, and here's something that really always bothered me. Now, I lived in suburbia, guys. Okay, I lived in suburbia for 8 years. Had a house up in Greece, New York. Now, you own your house; it's your house. But if you want to do anything, put a shed, do some kind of an improvement of any way, you have to get a permit from the town. So, in other words, yes, it's yours, but you can't do anything without their permission. And of course, a fee, right? Always a fee. There's always a fee. And so what you're seeing in states like New York and in states like California, you are seeing a mass exodus of people that if they can, they're getting the heck out of those states. Now, New York, for me, it was several reasons. Weather for me was a huge, huge factor, folks. I'm not going to lie. I do get seasonal depression disorder. That kind of, that's self-diagnosed too, by the way. But you can tell winter comes and you're just like, you have no energy. It sucks. You don't want to do nothing. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. But you know, so the weather was a big factor for me of getting out of New York. And so the taxes were too high. The gun laws sucked. You know, the whole state was run by Democrats, even though if you ever looked at the election board, the entire state would be red except Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, and New York City. The entire rest of the state would be red. But there wasn't enough people in those rural areas to make a difference when it came to how the state was going to be run. So it's gotten to a point of ridiculous. Now, of course, and they go out and they like jacked up the assessment of all these homes, saying now they're worth X, Y, and Z, and so just to collect more revenue tax wise that way as well. But that's kind of happening everywhere. But you have, people are getting out of those states. They're like, I've had enough. I'm getting out of here. Not dealing with it anymore. And I don't blame them. I absolutely don't blame them. I've done it myself. Obviously, right now I'm in West Virginia, so that's to me is like the first step, because what's going to happen with a lot of these people, unfortunately, is they take the way that they vote with them to the new state, and they vote for the same crap that ruined the state that they were in. um, you know and so that's what ends up happening. They end up going to the new state and ruining it there as well. And I never could understand that thinking. Number one, never made any sense at all. Yeah, taxes in Texas the last couple of years have been crazy high. Oh, I believe it. You have a huge influx of people coming in. Look at Florida, right? A lot of people came down and moved down to Florida. Like again, love Florida. I think Florida's a great state. Love to visit Florida. I would never live there. Way too hot. Um, Not a good place to be in a true SHTF situation. And so, you look at those situations of everything and you just go, yeah, no, that is not the place for me. Now I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys on here that watch are from Florida, but like I said, again, in a true SHTF situation, not good at all. Not good at all. They will continue. Okay, and this is opinion, what I'm going to give you now. They will continue to make more and more and more oppressive laws aimed at controlling us. They're doing it all the time in the guise of safety, fiscal responsibility, and all this other nonsense. And they spend like crazy. Now, I just saw something, and it was like, and again, I'm gonna give you my opinion. The whole thing, and when people go, oh my God, we're 34 or 35 trillion dollars in debt, whatever the number is, okay. And I try to explain to people, I go, it's an illusion. That is strictly an illusion. It doesn't mean anything, because all I got to do is turn on the printing presses, print the money, and send it out if they wanted to. So why do they tax us then, right? Why are we even being taxed? Because they can just print more money and pay that off. I mean, money is an illusion as well, to be honest with you. It's because the government says this has value. We go, okay, we agree with that. We'll work for that, and so that's what we do, right? That's why we go to work. That's why we're away from our homes and the people that we care about, so that we can go out and do the things that we want. Here's something else I want you to think about too. Let's talk about credit scores. Okay. If you start paying off your debt, your credit score will go down. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's what happens. When you start paying your debt off, your credit score will go down, because they would rather have you in debt because that way, again, if you are a slave to your home, if you have to go to work to be able to have your house, have your car, have all the things that you want to have, you know, um, like I said again, it's just all this big game. It's a huge game, and none of it means anything. It really doesn't. It's just all a manipulation. It's been a manipulation for a long time, and we've all bought into it, right? You know, at some point you look at one day you wake up, and I'll be honest with you guys. For me, you know, my kids were almost 10. I was working 6 days a week. I only saw, you know, I would see him in the evening for a little while, and I would, you know, put him to bed and all that. And then, but Sunday was my one day that I could spend time with my family. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Dave Ramsey has the whole credit score scam nailed. Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it's a manipulation. It's an absolute manipulation. So, but again, basically just before the kids turned 10, just basically before the ex decided, you know, she didn't want to play anymore, I came to some decisions that I needed to do for my own mental health, looking at the big picture down the road, trying to make sure we had more money freed up instead of being in ridiculous debt all the time. And so, you know, I made a couple of hard decisions, and my ex, for a lot of reasons, decided she didn't want to do that anymore, and so she bailed, and that's what happens. I mean, it happens, but you know, from that point on, I cut down on how many hours I was working. I got to spend a lot more time with my children, which to me was the most important thing because, and I've talked to you guys about this before, okay? And when you are younger, you think you got all the time in the world. I got all the time in the world. I can do whatever I want. I got all the time in the world. As you get older, you begin to realize, okay, time is so precious. Time is the one thing that you can never get back. So if you're working yourself to death all the time, you're never getting that time back. You're not spending that time with the people that you need to be spending that time with, your kids, your wife, your husband, whoever it is, your significant other. You're never going to get that time back. And so, you know, for me, you know, after my ex left and then I was raising the kids on my own, um, I was I felt blessed because I got to spend so much more time with them, and do things with them, and you know, and be there. And you know, if there was an event, I always, even when I was working a lot, if there was an event that like Heather was doing something, I always tried to make sure I was there for that. I thought it was important, so you know, I made sure that I would do that. But when you're on that merry-go-round, folks, and they're telling you this is your dream, this is your dream. You got to have the big house, right? You need a couple of cars. You need your toys. You need this. You need that. You know, maybe you have a vacation home, whatever. You buy into this system that perpetuates and puts you in a situation where you're always in debt. You know, and that just sucks. It just absolutely sucks, and it's a no-win situation, until you break that cycle. And when you make choices for your own peace of mind, for your mental health, for your physical health, you know, you're gonna just. Why do you think so many people? Why do you think men die before women? Now, I've always said as a joke, men die first in a marriage because of self-defense. It's been a joke that I've said for a long time. But the reality is, and no disrespect for the ladies out there that are working and taking care of their kids and all that type of stuff, okay? No disrespect for them at all. But most of the men, a lot of times, are the breadwinners. So they have all this. And actually, Dawn Hill just put up there stress. Stress is what kills because you're worried about this. I got to pay this. I got to do that. How am I going to take care of this? How am I going to take care of that? And we are all building up to that breaking point where how are we going to take care of things? How are we going to be able to afford to do what we need to do? You know, and like I said, when you see gas prices go up, and you see food prices go up and energy costs continuing to rise. And it's like, where's the money coming from, right? Realistically. So what can you do? You know, I mean, I don't know how anybody, honestly, can go out on a regular basis. Um, you know, when I'm out driving, McDonald's is always jammed, folks, always jammed. And I'm just like, I would rather come home and eat at home, to be honest with you. I got stuff here. I'll make my own stuff. Now once in a while, if I'm in the mood and I want something, actually, if I'm in the mood, it's usually Taco Bell, to be honest with you. But again, it's like it's such a waste of money, and people just go out there and they keep spending it like that. Having to have the latest bells and whistles, the designer clothes, the name brand clothes. I honestly, I never gave a crap about none of that stuff. I never did. Never did. I didn't care. You know, if I got my sneakers and they weren't, ooh, you're not wearing Nikes. Who cares? I mean, what? I'm going to pay a whole bunch more because it's got a swoosh on it. you know. But people get caught up in that, or they get caught up in you have to look like this. So like one of the big trends right now, and again, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. A lot of women are putting, they're plumping up their lips, making their lips bigger, which is fine. If you feel like you want to do that, go ahead. I mean, it's your own choice, and I'm not, who am I to judge anybody on what you do? But I truly don't understand it, okay? Because I think, you know, beauty is more, if they got a good heart, that's a big part for me. One of the things that I look for when I'm dating is intelligence, to be honest with you. I have to have somebody that is on the same intellectual level, that I can have a conversation and they can have their own thought process, and we can have different views. I like that. I couldn't be with somebody that was an idiot. I'm sorry, and I've always told people this. I've always told people this. I have one prejudice. I absolutely do. I do have a prejudice. I think everybody, to a degree, one way or the other, is prejudice. My prejudice is stupidity. I cannot handle or tolerate stupidity. If I realize that somebody's a moron, and this is terrible of me. I'll be honest, it's terrible of me. I'll be having a conversation, and once I realize that they're an idiot, I'll be like, hey, listen, really, really nice talking to you. Have a great day, and I walk away because I can't waste my time. Okay, I can't. I don't have the energy to waste my time, and that sounds terrible. But I had a conversation with a girl at school who said she could never dress like me. I said, well, you can't be me. I don't care what anyone thinks. After that, she wanted to know how I could be that way. Well, again, yeah, exactly, and that's the way we all should be done. We should not give a crap what other people think. Um, Heather's a great example. Like, she went to one of her proms and she made her dress herself. Okay, and people were like, "Oh my God, Heather, where did you get that dress?" And she was like, "Oh, I made it myself." She didn't need to go out and spend ridiculous amounts of money, and because that was her style, she didn't give a crap about that type of stuff. But this is part of the, like, with social media and everything else. You have to look like this. You have to do this. Well, it's just like right now. If somebody, and again, I could stand to lose some weight, so I'm not like, saying anything about that. But it's now you have to socially accept somebody who is morbidly obese and go, oh, don't say anything to them, don't, and I don't care what you do. Like I said, I don't I mean, I do judge. I'm not gonna lie, I judge, because I go, how could you let yourself get that big? When you see somebody that's 400 pounds and they are struggling to walk from the car to wherever, and you go, how? I don't get it. Now, I'm overweight. I'll be the first to admit I'm overweight. but I can get around and I can do stuff, and and I hit a certain number on the scale, and I go, okay, that's it. That's always the way that I've been, but it's just I don't know how people let themselves get to a certain point where when you watch those shows like My 600-Pound Life, somebody's enabling them to be able to do that because somebody's bringing them into food, somebody's helping them because they can't do it for themselves. They just can't. And so it's tough. You know what I mean? It's that's but we're supposed to go, oh no, we can't say anything, we can't judge them, but yet heaven forbid if you're a smoker, as a nurse, you and I take care of obese patients. It makes you really think about that stuff. Absolutely, Don. We had in one of the nursing homes that I was in, we had a unit that was strictly for morbidly obese people, and every single one of those people was a Hoyer, you know, and they were doing. And here's the other thing: what in the facility was, in my opinion, was an enabler to those people because they would say you can't restrict their food. You can't restrict. So if they want, I want an extra tray. You brought them an extra tray. How does that help them? It doesn't help them. I'm not going to tell somebody that has huge rolls of fat hanging off of them that they look good. Not going to do it. Okay. So, and again, you know, we could all improve ourselves. We could all eat better. We could all eat healthier. We could all exercise more. All those things is ideal. Okay. You know, see, if the weather was like this, like it was today all the time, I'd probably be very, very skinny because I would be outside all the time. I love to be outside when the weather's decent. When the weather's crappy, I don't want to be out there, So, and like I said, there's things like today I was working on different things, and you'll see in upcoming videos, but just trying to get things done. Oh, I got to tell you what, one of the things too today. Oh my God, freaking holla. So obviously she was out all day as well. For some unknown reason, she likes to go under um, Steve's the big blue house. She can't climb under there, nor she can't climb under it like nose first. No, she has to get on her side, lay on her side, and scooch herself in, and she does. So she was absolutely ridiculously covered with mud today. Okay. And so I took a shower here a little while ago, just before the live stream. But before I took my shower, one of the things, again, now I have the totes. They're filling up with water, which is awesome. And I probably, if I had to guess, right around 300 gallons in the two totes up here in the front right now. So what I did before I took my shower, I took and put the attachment on, put the hose on the attachment. I called her over, and I hosed the dog down and got like all that mud off of her because I was like, I don't want that all in the house, So, but so yeah, she's back and laying in her bed. She's wiped out. She's been outside all day too. So, but but again, having that availability, having the water here now, in that way, with the rain catchment, I'm not so concerned about trying to ration like I had to last year when we had that stretch where we had no rain. That was an eye opener, and so oh yeah, well I have a picture I posted on Facebook from years ago with Hella, and she was just like covered in mud. So, but anyway, you know, every aspect of everything, there is something that we can do about it, right? Delbert, the rain catchment's doing really, really well. Like I was just saying, probably got about 300 gallons between the two totes up here in the front, and so that's a good thing. So like the one, I transferred a bunch of water from the first one into the second one, and we got to connect everything and do all that yet. That's not happening yet. So I just used a 5 gallon bucket and was running water and pouring it into the next one. So kind of what I was doing with that. And so I probably got 100 gallons in the second tank. I think about 100 gallons in the first tank because we did have rain the other day. That's sitting at about 175 gallons right now. So that's maybe one tomorrow. I'll transfer some more water over. So when we do get rain, which we should be getting some more rain this week, it'll fill that tote up and then it'll have room. I would be upset with myself if it was overflowing and the other tanks were empty. So that's I'll don't take long and it's just something to do too. So but anyway, people are getting out of areas where it's too expensive. Things continue to get more expensive everywhere else as well, and it is a matter of time, in my opinion, okay, that we are going to reach a breaking point. And I think we're fastly heading to that area, and people are sick and tired of the status quo. They're sick and tired of being taxed to death, being told what we need. Like it's a whole electric car thing. Okay. Oh yeah, we have to do this. We have to, and they're trying to force it on us, which in my opinion is also wrong. Okay. Nothing should be forced on anybody. Folks, if you want an electric car and you want to be limited to how far you can go, have at it, have a good time. I am not interested. I have no desire for an electric car. I will never have an electric car. So, not my thing. And so, but again, there's a constant manipulation. They will use every tool that they possibly can to manipulate you, as we have seen from recent events, right? To make you feel like you need to do this. And I will tell you this right now. Can I suggest adding a 10-foot to your culvert for easier hauling in buildings? Maybe it's enough, but on video looks like it would help. Yeah, Prepared Family, thank you for that statement. Actually, Jimmy and I had talked about that. He was saying, I think I'm going to get another 10-foot section and we'll add that on. So, yes. Dana said, hey, at off topic by chance, do you know what's going on with John X Army? Um, it was through his channel that I started following you. I have not, Dana. Thank you for that question. I haven't talked to him in a long, long time. I have no idea what happened to him. He's not on anymore? I think his channel got shut down. I'm not 100% sure, but I think his channel got shut down. California's more than financial. It's criminal. Same thing with New York, folks. The same thing with New York when they brought in the whole catch and release program. Rachel said, I haven't heard from John X in years. Yeah, it's been a long time since I spoke with him. He just kind of see. Here's the weird thing about YouTube, folks. Okay, what you'll see happen is somebody will come in and they'll be gangbusters, and they're doing their thing and whatever. And then a lot of times, a lot of channels have faded away. They're gone. Some channels that I liked are not here anymore either. And so, he took his channel in a different direction. And, I think some people were like, yeah, no. And so, I mean, but that's part of YouTube as well. People are going to, do their thing. I love watching your covert videos. Ice Age Farmer disappeared. Oh, did it? Okay. Yeah, it happens. People get burned out. They don't want to do it anymore, and they leave, or their channel gets shut down for whatever reason, and so that it happens quite a bit. If everyone had an electric vehicle and they all charged them after work, it would shut down the entire electrical grid. You're absolutely right, Tony. You're absolutely right. They don't have the infrastructure in place to be able to handle that type of thing. They just don't. And it would collapse the grid. Our grid is not big enough. We don't have enough infrastructure of charging stations and all that type of stuff either at this point. Also, that culvert is a great area for a gate. Well, not my property over there. All right. I have an easement as part of my agreement here with the property. Part of the easement is I can do whatever I want to do to improve the road, which obviously we have been doing for the last couple of years. But and it's like if you're improving somebody else's property that way, I don't think they're going to complain. So, but you know, oh, and people are stealing copper out of houses for the EV charging station. Oh, the hoses for the EV. Oh, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, not a lot of people use the road. Basically, there's one other guy. Well, Randy comes out once in a while, and he'll work cleaning up the graveyard. But yeah, it's there's one other guy that has a property next to mine. He don't come out hardly at all. I don't ever hardly see him. So it's basically me using the road all the time, or like when the group comes down, they use it. So like I said, we're continuing to improve it. That was a huge, huge upgrade for all of us. Definitely much, much needed in improvement. There's a lot of extra stone sitting there where we had to stage it that we need to get out of that area and put it into the road. So that's going to be another thing as well. So, but anyway, yeah, like I said, with the laws with crime, you know. I do not have a backup channel. I am on Rumble, but anything that I do on here gets posted on there. That's pretty much all. I don't have any exclusive content over on that channel. Real Freedom said, Ed, how's your mom doing? Mom's doing great. She will be 81 in July, and she is doing really, really good. So when she hit 80 last year, I asked her, I said, so you going for 90? And she goes, I don't see why not. Um, Unfortunately, my aunt is a different story. My mom's sister, not doing well. Her cancer came back, and it looks like she's 79, and it's probably won't be very long before she's gone. So, unfortunately, but so mom will be the last one left. Her brother also died of cancer, and in my family, we die of two things: we die of cancer, and we die of old age. So that's on my mom's side. There's good longevity on my dad's side. I mean, my dad was 85 when he passed, and so and he's been gone a long time already now too. It don't even seem possible, but yeah, it's wait until silver is 125 an ounce. That would be interesting. That would absolutely be interesting. But again, we are absolutely reaching that breaking point, folks. We absolutely are. We cannot continue to do what we are doing, and you know, it's just not. It's not doable. It is not doable. Your aunt is the one you got your trailer from? No, that was my one of my half sisters. I have two half sisters and one full blooded sister. My one half sister, on my from my dad's first marriage, she's gone now. She died of cancer. And my other sister Margie, you guys have seen Margie. Yep, Margie's still alive. She's doing well. She just had a surgery on her neck, so so she's doing really really good though from that. Getting the feeling back in her arm. She was having a lot of issues with her arm, and now she's doing much much better. So that's really really good. But yeah, Heather's doing well. Her boyfriend's good. Becky's doing okay. Rick's okay as well. Um, you know, yeah, Margie gets around pretty good. She's definitely she gets around pretty good. And but Just remember, when gold and silver go up, the dollar goes down. What currency do you use if the dollar dies? Exactly. You'll use silver or gold. Yep. And again, remember, okay, all paper money is worth the paper it's printed on, which is nothing. All right. Gold and silver retain their value. I've said many times, and I will say it again, I do not have any gold. I have no desire to have any gold. I would rather have silver, much more dispersible. You can use it for barter. You know, gold is, yeah, gold is more valuable, okay, but unless you're breaking it down into very, very small things, that's uh, yeah, but at that point, all bets are off anyway. Exactly. And here's the, yeah, well, the thing is too, and I want people to remember this: unless you are prepped out the wazoo and you have more than enough of everything, you shouldn't be buying gold anyway. Because the other point is this: you cannot eat gold. Okay, so what I don't even know what gold is right now. Was it 1,900 an ounce? I don't even know, folks. I don't even pay attention. What's gold at right now? Because I want to make a point. 2,300. Wow, wow! I did not know it was that high. Okay, $2,300 for an ounce of gold. So you can have this little pretty shiny gold coin. How much food could that? Oh, 2,400. Okay, how much money could $2,400 buy? How much food? I'm sorry. How much food could $2,400 buy? That's a lot of food. A lot of food. Okay, and so to me, tangible goods are what count in the big picture of things. Because if I can't eat it, if I can't utilize it to help me do things, then it's worthless. And in a true SHTF situation, that goal is going to be, it's not going to be worth squat realistically. Because and some people will barter for it, but you're not going to get no $2,300 worth of crap for your gold coin. I'm telling you right now. But if you can have a lot of other supplies, medical supplies, food. Think about $2,300, $2,400 worth of food. And if you bought some long-term food, right? Long-term storage stuff, your beans, your rice, honey, those type of things, freeze-dried coffee, all those type of stuff. Bought some medical supplies, bought some canned goods, all that type of stuff. Man, I'll tell you what, that can go a long way. You could buy a lot of food and it will last you a good long time if you spend it properly, diversifying what you're getting. And you could include seeds in that out of that 2,400. Take $100 and just buy seeds. That would be worth its weight in gold. So, you know, silver is 3170. Okay, yeah, like I said again, Sonia, I have no idea. No idea. you know, but yes, Dawn saying everyone should have a balance of foods: freeze dried, canned, dehydrated seeds, wheat, berries, etc. Yeah, absolutely. You should have your canned goods. And again, I highly recommend buying canned goods that you like to eat. That's important. Uh, Also, your long term food storages, like I said, your rice, your beans, those type of things. I think that's really important as well. Well, gold is more of a future generation wealth prep. Again, I wouldn't prep it. Not for nothing. Not for nothing. So that's just my opinion, guys. I mean, if you like gold, have at it, Hoss. Knock yourself out. I'm absolutely okay with that. Do what you got to do. Like I said, I just to me, I can think of better ways to spend my money. That's just my take. All right. So what do we got? 326 in the chat. We got 164 thumbs up. Once again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate it. Really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction, the better for the channel that way as well. So thank you for that. Again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that ahead of time. So, but all right. So I got to share this with you guys first. I so wish that yesterday's egg count was today's egg count, because I guarantee, no one would have got the right answer. No one would have got the right answer. So we're going to do today's egg count here in just a moment, but I got to tell you what yesterday's was first. Okay. Yesterday, we ended up with 6 eggs. Okay. 6 eggs. So you're probably thinking, okay, so you had 5 brown eggs and, Betty White laid. Nope. Betty White laid 2 eggs yesterday. Now, she laid the day before, so it wasn't like she laid early in the morning and she laid at night. No, she laid the day before as well. She laid 2 eggs yesterday. No one would have guessed 2 eggs for Betty White and 4 eggs for the rest of the hens. Even if I had said to you, we got 6 eggs, you wouldn't have guessed that. I couldn't believe it. I was like dumbfounded. I was like, no way. Never happened before. I've never had that happen. Thick Neck never did it. So yeah, it was. And have you ever considered having a meat cow on your property? If I have a meat cow on my property, Randy, it's going to be in a freezer. So there is a lot of cows out in this area where we're at. And when the time comes, we could barter those. So, that's the way we would do that at that point. But I would like to, once we get an underground freezer in, to get a cow and get it in a freezer and do it that way. All right, so let's do. So anyway, like I said again, when I saw that egg count yesterday, I'm like, oh, why couldn't that have been Sunday? So how many eggs today? And yes or no for Betty White. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and we will go from there. But yeah, I was flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. I could not believe that she laid 2 eggs yesterday. So keep that in mind at some point in the future. I doubt it'll happen again, but it was pretty wild. It was absolutely pretty wild. I'm looking at myself and I can see all the color on my arms that I got today. A lot of sun today. Bob, yeah, you can give me a call after the stream, Bob. That's fine. Well, yeah, not how many. Well, because she's never laid 2 before. All right. If you had the same guess, and I think this is a first time winner here, Gator 7774. If you had the same guess as Gator 7774, then you are absolutely correct. 3 eggs today, and yes, Miss Betty White did lay again. So unbelievable. So congratulations to Gator. You have won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So there you go. But yeah, she's very, very consistent layer. When there's a day where she doesn't lay, it really surprises me. Really, really surprises me because she's that consistent with laying. So anyway, was that your first time Gator winning? I think it was. Betty must be tuckered out, and she's a little bitty hen. It's not like she's a big old girl or nothing like that, but man, she likes to lay eggs, so I'll give her that. Oh, you once before? Okay. I couldn't remember. I don't. It's been a while though. It's been a while. So it was 3 eggs today, Sean, and yes, Betty White did lay. So anyway, but good times. Good times. Again, we are getting to that breaking point. First of all, The government cannot continue to do what it's doing. Okay, can't continue to do what it's doing. What I think you're going to see moving forward in the future, I would not be surprised. Let me just rephrase that. It would not surprise me if we started seeing more vigilante justice, because our judicial system is a mess right now. It is a mess. When you have the catch and release, and these criminals realize they can steal with immunity, they can steal whatever they want, and it's fine, and nobody's going to do anything about it. When they can just continue to, you know, do all the things that they're doing, they assault somebody, they're in and out. Hey, Asif, don't ever let Thick Neck talk about the fun she's having when she's on her sabbatical with Betty White. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Thick Neck only is a fair weather layer. Betty White laid all winter. I will give that. Yeah, but I will give him that, or give her that, I should say. So thank you very much for the donation, Asa. Very much appreciated. And do you have edema wear and compression wraps and socks in your medical supplies? I do not, Sean. No, I do not. Prepared family, yes, but they try to throw the book at vigilante justice. Oh yeah, and that's what kills me too. They let the criminals do what they want to do, and then if you defend yourself, then you're the bad guy. Edwin, will you post a final video of your covert? So the next 3 videos that you will see going up, 2 will be tomorrow. One will be the lower meadow, one will be the upper meadow, and then Tuesday, 3 o'clock video, I believe, will be the video for the final covert video. So. China is dumping U.S. treasuries at an alarming rate, 23 billion since February. That doesn't surprise me at all, JJ. They're pissed off because we're not letting them have free reign in the South China Sea. We're building up. We're helping Taiwan. We've come, the new military pact with the Philippines. So of course, but again, JJ, all that is not. It means nothing. If we said tomorrow, if the U.S. government said tomorrow, all our debt is gone, we're not paying another dime of debt, what's anybody, number one, going to do about it, right? What are they going to do? They won't be able to do squat. Or if they just went and printed up the money and said, okay, here you go, China or whoever. So if you ever think about, so China's is, one that we got to worry about. But we're supposedly buying or borrowing from China. Yeah, we've added new tariffs on them as well. Yep. So, yeah, that raises an important question. Who's going to keep funding the federal government's borrowing spree? Yeah, like I said, again, it's just it will be vigilante justice when it all goes for world without rule of law. Yep. So what are they going to do about that? They want to leave us to ourselves, which is fine with me. But again, they're trying to disarm law-abiding citizens right now. They're trying to do it in a whole bunch of states, especially Democrat-run states. So, yeah, we wouldn't have to borrow if we could stop giving so much money away. Oh, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Ukraine would have been on their own a long time ago. Not our problem, not our circus, not our monkey. But how much money have we given them? And then so they just, I don't know if you guys saw this. So they passed the package to give them 61 billion. And then right after that, I don't know if you guys saw it, they approved another 2 billion. Why? Why? Makes no sense. So again, just a lot of games being played, a lot of manipulation going on. That's not going to stop, folks. I'm telling you right now. At some point, somebody had just said, and I don't know if it was true or not, they said the Cuban banking system collapsed the other day. Does anybody know, or have anybody heard anything else about that? Yeah, home burglars' greatest fear is to encountering an armed homeowner. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, why do we have taxes when they could just print the money? Exactly. It's about control, Lori. It's about control. So I didn't see anything on the news yesterday. Okay. I'd heard that. I don't know if it was true or not true, so I was just trying to get some confirmation on that. I thought Cuba's banking system totally shut down. Yeah, I have no idea. It was the president of Iran, not the prime minister. The president of Iran. And we talked about that earlier in the stream. But again, I will always continue to press home the importance of preparedness. Be as ready as you can be. You know, if you've been paying attention with what we're doing down here, we have been going full bore down here, getting things put in place, getting buildings in place. All right, JJ, would you text that to me so I can look at that? There she is. There's that princess. God, she was dirty. I was like, there's no way you were coming in a house like that. And so she like was laying down, and I'm spraying the crap out of her and getting all the crap off of her. It was bad. Yes, you were a dirty girl. Because you got to stop climbing. And she likes to go under the battery room too. She'll dig her way under there and go under there as well. So I have no idea. Um, Newsmax says they're still searching for a crash site. Oh, yeah, I thought they said they found it. Oh, Cuba got Russia to help. Okay. Well, she's under the table right now, so I'm petting her that way. Yeah, guys, if you want to make a statement so that I can see it all cap lock so it stands out for me, please. That it really just that helps if it's done that way. But too many are so financially strapped that prepping is hard. I can only do a tiny bit at a time, but something is better than nothing. Exactly. Exactly, Tess. And that's exactly what I said. That's why I did the series prepping on $10 a week. Okay. It may not be a lot, but it's something. Something as opposed to nothing. There's the difference. Okay. And again, I will strongly encourage you guys to be part of a group, because when a group pools their money together, it goes a lot farther and you can get a lot more things done. I mean, that guy didn't come in here and do the excavator work for free. That the total cost of everything was $2,250. Now, that's a lot of money, but he did a lot of work, and he saved us a ton, absolute ton, of labor ourselves. So, you know, just do what you can. Get ready the best way that you can. I know we have people in the group that are preparing freeze dried foods, and they bring that down. We have people that they have their buildings in here, and every time that they come down, they bring a carload of stuff, and they're stocking up stuff here on the site, because if it's here, you don't have to worry about bringing it here later. You just got to worry about getting you here. That's one of the beauties. If you see, I want you to think about something, folks. Okay, if you're part of a bug out group, you have a building on site, and let's say you got a generator, you got some gas on site, you have some propane on site, you have a wood stove there, you have clothes there, you have other supplies there ready to go. And SHTF absolutely comes, and it's way worse than we ever thought, and you're not driving anywhere. Okay. But you know one thing for a fact. You if you get to your bug out location, you're going to have people that are going to have your back. You're going to have supplies there on site. You're going to have shelter. You're going to be able to survive, and not only survive but thrive. So what does that give you, right? What does that give you? It gives you a wonderful thing called hope. It gives you hope because you know all I have to do is get there, and my people are there. They're going to be watching out for me. We're going to work together. I have stuff there. I'm ready to go. That's what it does. It gives you hope. Who do you think? Do you think we'll have an election this year? I believe we'll have an election, and when they don't like the results of the election, which I do believe Trump will win handedly, he should unless something happens. Other than that, but you know, I think something will happen between the end of the election in November and the inauguration in January. So, but the Culver's fantastic. Thank you. Yep, thank you very much. Wait do you see the final video? Like I said again, that should be coming up Tuesday for the final showing of that and what he did in that area and everything else like that. I'm watching from Buffalo. I'm typing from my 87-year-old grandmother, uh, um, who has been watching you for years. If you get a second, please say hi to Mary Lee. She'd love it. Well, Mary Lee, how you doing, my dear? Appreciate you watching. 87 years old. That's an awesome run. So congratulations on that. That's the Evans family. So Mary Lee, how you doing, hon? Glad you're watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, empty canning jars are perfect water storage as well. Yeah, and that's and like I said again, having canning jars is important to have as well because you will be doing a lot of canning, a lot of food preservation in a true SHTF situation. Again, folks, the one thing you should have on hand, no matter what, okay, you should have potatoes. Potatoes are the one food that you can eat nothing but potatoes and survive. So, you gonna come up and say hi? Come on up. Come on. Yeah, it's a girl. There she is. Yes. There's the princess, all clean again. Her face was dirty. She had dirt all like on the one side of her face because she was sliding under it. Weren't you? Very dirty. You were a very dirty girl. Yeah. But now you're clean and you look pretty. Yes, you do. So, anyway. Oh, we got to do shout outs, guys. Okay, down you go. But again, without hope, we have nothing. Do the best that you can. Continue to prepare as much as you possibly can. If you're doing nothing else, food and some water preparation, it's going to give you some time to make some decisions of what you need to do from that point moving forward. Having a rain barrel at the end of your gutter system, okay, $50 for a rain barrel. There's 50 gallons of water right there. So but a lot of options, a lot of options. All right, here we're gonna do some shout outs. We have Heavenly Hills Homestead. That's Ryan growing giant vegetables. Definitely check him out as well. There is Icky Can, who is up in Canada doing his thing. He's 3 hours north of Toronto, so he is way, way up in Canada, living off grid up there. Really good guy. Very interesting watching his story. You have Angry Prepper. That is Jason down in New York City. There's also Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy. I like Rudy a lot. Very down to earth guy as well. There's also Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy, living off grid up in Canada, doing his thing up there. So very interesting to watch him as well. There is Demcad. I like him as well. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. There's 80K Man coming at us from the Adirondacks of upstate New York. Because I always say I'm from upstate, but when you look at the state, I'm actually was in Western New York, where upstate is way up here in that part. That's true upstate New York. We have Bizarrizza Jizza doing the Carrington Chronicles, a really interesting story. Definitely worth a listen to. All right, where was I here? We have Marfugal News, Adam and Dax doing their thing out on the West Coast in Seattle. Really good guys as well. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star, that is Cody, another really good guy. A lot of great information on his channel. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily coming at us from across the pond in Europe, giving us all the latest information from what's happening over there. There is Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra. Just put an addition on to the main cabin. He's also building a log cabin, and he's got a baby on the way. So a lot of stuff going on there. They're up in Minnesota, living off grid up there. Nice young couple. Let's see, where was I? Okay, Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Really good people. Definitely check them out as well. There is Green Greg's, another really good guy. You have Southern Prepper One with his Boots on the Ground series. A lot of good information there as well. We have Gray Man Prepping. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around a long time. Really good people. A lot of good information on their channel as well. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. A nice young couple down in Panama living off grid down there doing their thing. There's the Green Dream Project. They are out in Arizona in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert. There's Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping or camping up in Canada. Really down to earth guy. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Good channel, a lot of good information on her channel. There is Boss of the Swamp. Another master builder. Very interesting to watch him build and do his thing out there. Just amazing what he does. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, showing you what it takes, with everything, anything to do with the Grand Solar Minimum. He has the information on that. So definitely check him out as well. You have Patera with the Appalachia Homestead, another straight shooter. She says it like it is. I really like her channel. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer, showing you what's going on with the sun, with the solar flares and all that. Really interesting to watch that. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma, doing his thing out there. Really interesting with his channel as well. When the volcano was going on, he was posting twice a day. There is Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley's her focus has always been Yellowstone, but she gives you updates of what's going on with there and also with other earthquakes and stuff like that. Really interesting to see what she has to say. There's Adapt 2030. We have Truth Be Told with Tara. If you're going to get your weather, folks, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall is very passionate about the weather. Really good guy, very down to earth, and he gives back to the community in a huge way as well. And I have just a tremendous amount of respect for him because of all of that. Hold on one second. All right. We have Russell Brand. I really like Russell Brand as well. He gives you the information. He lets you decide what you want to do with it. There is Deep South Homestead, very family-friendly oriented channel as well. You have The Outsider. I was always saying Maine. I thought he was in Maine, but I guess he's in Canada. So another good channel there, watching what he does there. There is Betting on Alaska. He is the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Really nice young man, starting his journey up in Alaska to live off-grid. So definitely worth a listen to. We have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. Then there is Townsend's. Townsend's is showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. I think it's a really interesting channel, and you can pick up some good tips there. We have The Prepared Mind. There is Pinball Preparedness, coming at you from Tennessee. Real good guy as well. East Tennessee Preparedness. The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, also down in Tennessee. So, Asif, have a good night, my friend. Uh, a lot of good channels out there, folks. There's a lot of good information out there. We should be supporting each other. That is what I believe. And that's why I like to do the shout outs. I know you guys gave a lot of other shout outs in the chat, which is perfectly fine. I can't give everybody a shout out. So, but I do believe we should be supporting each other. That Garden Life. I started watching you during COVID. I was unprepared, but hit the ground running. Thanks for your help. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate the donation as well. I'm glad that that was your wake up call, and I'm glad you're preparing. That's awesome. Keep at it. Just do the best that you can. And you just got to remember, as long as we're doing something, it's going to give us a huge advantage over, again, 95% of the people. 95% of the people are not prepared for a 2 week disaster. That should scare the crap out of you, because that means there's a lot of victims out there, a lot of victims. And what happens when something happens and they realize that you have something? They feel entitled that you should help them. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you have to be careful what you're doing, because some people will be takers in that situation. So you just have to do the best that you can, folks. I really think that that's important. Just continue to do the best that you can. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Exactly. And that's exactly it. And I get so tired of people coming up with every excuse of why they can't prepare, when even on a small scale, they could, if they really wanted to. I don't like excuses. I really don't. Through the years, I've had many people tell me, suggestion, if you are buying number 10 cans of meat or whatever, you should really see how much you need to feed your family and go from there and what you will need long term. That's a good point, Don. That is a really good point. And, again, diversification, I think, is really, really important. You just don't want to have number 10 cans. You want to have other options available. That's important. Again, having a garden is going to be a big part of that as well. So, a lot of important things out there that we all need to be working on. All right, let's do this. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? We have the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Pacific Northwest with Tess, Virginia for Critter Lover, BC, Canada with Janet, T's coming from Connecticut, Lakeland, Florida with Danny, Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol, North Highlands of California with Lori, middle of Tennessee with Sandra, Lena from Texas, Woodstock, Tennessee, Trenton, Florida, Central Iowa. We got Tim in Northern Virginia. Nebraska's in the house. San Bernardino, California. Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia. Dana from California. Yatesville, Georgia with Tony. Southern Connecticut with Bob. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Bob C. in upstate New York. Sean the Englishman from Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Greenlee County, Arizona. We got Morning Light in West Virginia. Back in Missouri with Gloria. Jeannie in Georgia. Franklin County, Ohio with Comet Moon. East Central Illinois, with Ranger. West Central Ohio with Dale. Omaha, Nebraska with Brian. Dust Devil coming at us out of Texas. Central New York for Village Homestead. So again, guys, we are truly all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now. So California, West Virginia. That's I don't know what you're trying to say there. But we can make a difference. We can make a difference now by trying to wake people up. I know sometimes it's like beating your head against a wall, but I think it's important that we do there. Bubble One's coming at us out of Michigan. Shenandoah Valley, Virginia with Couch Cat. After an event, we can also make a big difference in people's lives of trying to help them, because they're going to need help. People are going to need help. And we have to make this. There's a lot of good people out there, folks, that don't prep, that haven't got a clue, that are just living with those rose-colored glasses on. They have no idea what's coming. And if we can make a difference and help them, I think that that's really, really important that we do so. I really, really do. And so that's why, knowledge is power. Remember that as well. Knowledge is power. Sioux County in Delaware from Lady Liberty. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen who moderate for me, thank you so much. Very much appreciated. It just makes the stream so much better, and it really means a lot to me. I also want to thank all of you guys for being here and being part of the stream and enjoying it. And hopefully we learned something. Try to do that. But I'm always going to be your guys' cheerleader as well, because I want you to be successful. I want you to to succeed in preparing and being as ready as you can be. I don't just sit here and talk and tell you what to do. I've been doing it too for years and years and years, and then starting at a new location, and it's come along fantastic. Really, really unbelievably pleased with the progress down here, and it's just going to get better and better if we get the time. There's the key. If we get the time, so. But anyway, guys, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure, oh, you split your time between California and West Virginia. I gotcha. Okay, and that makes sense now. We truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we figure that one out, and stop letting them manipulate us through race, religion, political affiliation, all that is nothing. It means nothing at the end of the day. If we can come together as human beings, we can accomplish anything that we set our minds to. And that's the important thing. And I think we should try to do so. Also, remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Ed, can you do a demo stream and show how to do a project that would be able to show everyone how to do something? I don't know if I could or not. I don't know, maybe. But also remember, guys, the most important one, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you were trying to do, whatever you were trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive. Stay away from negative people telling you what you cannot do or what you cannot accomplish. You can accomplish anything within reasonable expectations that you set your mind to. And that's a fact. I am living proof of that. Going and living off grid with no skills. Being a nurse, that's it, and then learning on the fly. It's been quite an interesting journey. It really has. So if I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it. So, guys, have a great night. I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.